One evening, Anna saw a strange light above Arendelle's mountains, and Elsa felt a pull in her heart. They found a scroll about the moonstone, a crystal that controls shadows, hidden in the misty peaks. Worried it could darken Arendelle, they set out with Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven. They faced moving trees, whispers, and long shadows. In a hidden valley, they found the moonstone guarded by the Keeper of Darkness, who warned of facing their shadows. Shadowy versions of Anna and Elsa appeared, echoing their fears. Anna declared they'd face them together. Elsa used her magic to reflect the moonstone's light, scattering the shadows. The Keeper vanished, leaving the moonstone hidden. They learned true power is facing fears with love. Back in Arendelle, the light disappeared, and a warm dawn arrived. Olaf joked about his shadow having a carrot nose, and everyone laughed as the day began, brighter than ever. One morning in Arendelle, Elsa found the river frozen by strange magic. "Anna, I didn't do this," she said. Anna replied, "Let's find out what happened." Olaf cheered, "Adventure." They followed the icy river to a frozen waterfall and found a tunnel leading to a cavern with an enchanted river of ice. A voice echoed, "The river of time is bound by magic." Elsa tried her magic, but the ice resisted. Anna joined her, their bond glowing with warmth. The river began to thaw, and the cavern filled with colors. The voice returned, "Your love has restored balance." The Arendelle River sparkled back to life. Olaf exclaimed, "That was beautiful." Elsa smiled at Anna. "We'll face it together." The river sang a melody of magic, courage, and sisterly love. Once upon a time, a wise king had 12 beautiful daughters with a strange secret. Their shoes were worn out each morning. He promised a treasure to whoever solved the mystery. Leo, a gardener's clever son, took on the challenge. He hid near the princess's room and saw them open a hidden golden door to a glowing tunnel. It led to a magical garden with diamond trees and a crystal ballroom where they danced with starlight princes. Leo gathered a golden leaf and glowing water as proof. The next morning, he revealed the secret to the king, who was amused. He allowed the princesses to visit the garden openly and made Leo the royal explorer. Sometimes, the princesses invited Leo to dance with them in their magical garden. In a golden kingdom, Princess Lila loved to lie. She told tales of dragons and fairies, but soon no one believed her. One day, she met a rabbit wearing a crown who claimed to be Prince Thumper, whose kingdom was under a dark spell. He needed the crystal of truth. Lila ran to tell the queen, but no one believed her. Determined, Layla followed the rabbit prince into the forbidden forest. They found the Mirror of Whispers, a portal that only an honest person could pass. Layla confessed her past lies, and a path appeared. She found the crystal of truth, breaking the curse. The rabbit prince transformed into a handsome prince. Back at the palace, everyone was shocked. The prince told the queen that Layla had saved them with her honesty. From that day on, she was known as Layla the Truthful. Once upon a time, 3 bears lived in a cozy cottage. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. They had their own special things. One morning, Mama Bear made porridge, but it was too hot, so they went for a walk. Goldilocks wandered by and entered their cottage. She tasted Papa Bear's porridge. Too hot. Then Mama Bear's, too cold. Finally, Baby Bear's, just right, and ate it all. She sat in Papa Bear's chair. Too hard. Then Mama Bear's, too soft. Finally, Baby Bear's, just right, but it broke. Goldilocks went upstairs and tried the beds. Papa Bear's was too high, Mama Bear's too lumpy, but Baby Bear's was just right, and she fell asleep. The bears returned. "Someone's been eating my porridge," growled Papa Bear. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," squeaked Baby Bear. Goldilocks woke up, saw the bears, and ran away. The bears decided to lock the door next time, and Goldilocks never entered a house uninvited again. In a cozy cottage, an old woman baked a gingerbread man. As soon as she opened the oven, he jumped out, shouting, "Run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." The old woman and man chased him, but he was too fast. He met a cow who wanted to eat him, but he ran on, singing his rhyme. Next, a horse tried to catch him, but he escaped again. He reached a river, and a sly fox offered to help him cross. The gingerbread man climbed onto the fox's tail, then its back, and finally, its head. In the middle of the river, the fox tossed his head and ate the gingerbread man in one bite. The old woman and man decided to bake a dozen more.
From an ordinary fairy to a royal designer. Long ago, in the Glitter Grove forest, there lived a little fairy named Tilla. She wasn't the strongest fairy. She couldn't make thunder, couldn't summon rainbows, and definitely couldn't fly as fast as her friends. But Tilla had one tiny talent. She loved designing clothes. While other fairies practiced magic spells, Tilla collected flower petals, dewdrops, and spider silk threads to stitch little dresses for her doll. One sunny morning, the forest fairies giggled. "Tilla, you'll never be important with dresses. Fairies need magic, not fashion." Tilla's cheeks turned pink, but she kept quiet. Deep inside, she whispered to herself, "One day, my designs will shine brighter than magic." In the nearby Crystal Palace, Princess Leora was worried. Tomorrow was the great fairy ball where every fairy shows their power. But her royal gown? Torn by mischievous pixies. The queen sighed. "We need the finest designer in the land, or tomorrow our princess will have no gown." A hummingbird messenger flew across the forest. It landed on Tilla's windowsill with a tiny scroll. "Royal emergency. We need your help." Tilla gasped. "Me? An ordinary fairy?" But she packed her needle, thread, and brave little heart. At the palace, Tilla saw the ruined dress. She touched it gently and whispered, "Don't worry, little gown. We'll make you shine again." She worked all night. She stitched with moonlight threads. She embroidered roses from glowing petals. She added stars that twinkled whenever the princess moved. The gown became more magical than any spell. When Princess Leora entered the ballroom, every fairy gasped. The gown sparkled like the midnight sky. The queen declared, "Tilla, from this day forward, you are the royal designer of the fairy kingdom." The fairies who once teased her clapped with wide eyes. Tilla smiled, not out of pride, but joy. Sometimes the smallest talent becomes the brightest magic of all. Believe in what makes you different. It may be your greatest gift. Once upon a time, in a bright kingdom filled with blooming gardens and tall golden towers, there lived a kind princess named Clara. She loved adventures, but the people of her kingdom always told her, "Stay safe, princess. Dragons are dangerous." But Clara was not afraid of dragons. She believed that sometimes scary things just needed a friend. One sunny afternoon, Clara wandered beyond the castle gates into the whispering woods. She followed a trail of glittering blue scales until she heard a soft growl. There, curled beneath an old oak tree, was a dragon. His wings were huge and silver, but his eyes looked sad. "Hello there," Clara said bravely, though her heart thumped fast. The dragon sniffled. "Everyone runs from me. They say I'm too big, too scary, but I only want a friend." Clara's eyes sparkled. "Well, I'd like to be your friend." The dragon's wings lifted with surprise. Truly? From that day on, Princess Clara visited him every evening. She named him Lumos because his scales shimmered like moonlight. Lumos showed her how to ride the wind on his back, and Clara taught him songs from the castle. One night, a terrible storm struck the kingdom. The river flooded and the townsfolk were trapped. Clara knew only Lumos could help. "Come, my friend," she called. With a mighty roar, Lumos soared through the storm. His wings blocked the rain, and his tail lifted people to safety. The villagers gasped this dragon wasn't scary at all. He was a hero. From then on, Lumos was welcomed in the kingdom. Children played around his giant claws, and Clara always sat proudly by his side. And so, the princess who dared to befriend a dragon showed everyone that kindness is stronger than fear. The end. Deep in the heart of the ocean, where the sunlight turned into silver ripples, lived Luma, a tiny mermaid no bigger than a seashell. Unlike the other mermaids, who were graceful and tall, Luma was small and curious. She dreamed of seeing the sparkling reef, a secret place spoken of only in whispers, said to glow with rainbow light and guard treasures of the sea. One moonlit night, while listening to the seashell echoes, Luma heard a mysterious voice. "The reef awakens when the stars fall. Follow the silver tide." Determined, Luma packed her pearl satchel and swam off. As she traveled, Luma faced mysterious challenges. The whistling caves, dark tunnels where echoes tricked travelers. Shadows danced on the walls, but Luma trusted her heart and followed the faint hum of a seahorse's song, leading her safely through. The seaweed forest, tall green towers that shifted like a maze. Suddenly, the forest moved on its own. It was enchanted. With the help of a playful crab named Tico, who clicked his claws in rhythm, the seaweed parted to show the way out. The moon jelly lake, glowing jellyfish floated in silence, blocking her path. Luma was frightened, but when she sang a soft lullaby, the jellyfish began to swirl gently, creating a glowing bridge for her to swim across. At last, she reached it, the sparkling reef. It shimmered with crystal corals, glowing fish, and rainbow pearls that floated like stars. But at the center was a secret. The reef's light was fading. A shadowy eel whispered, "The reef's heart has been stolen. Without it, the ocean will lose its glow." Luma searched and discovered the heart, a giant glowing gem hidden inside a clam guarded by the eel. Though small, she was brave. Using her quick tail, she darted around, tricking the eel into tying itself in seaweed. With Tico's help, she opened the clam and freed the glowing gem. When Luma placed it back in the reef, the whole ocean blazed with light, brighter than 1,000 stars. The sea creatures cheered, and the reef sang with colors. Luma realized that even though she was the tiniest mermaid, her courage was the biggest treasure of all. From that day, the sparkling reef glowed forever, guiding lost travelers home. And every time a child gazes at the glittering sea, they see the light of Luma's brave heart shining back. One frosty morning, Arendelle was peaceful until the sky lit up with a strange silver glow. A trail of sparkling frost stretched across the horizon, pointing toward the distant Silver Mountain, a place no one dared to go. Elsa felt a pull in her heart. "Anna, that glow, it's calling me. I think magic is in danger." Anna's eyes lit up. "Then let's follow it." Every adventure starts with a mystery. Olaf bounced happily. "Ooh, does this mean snacks on the way? Because I packed marshmallows." Kristoff hitched Sven to the sleigh. "Looks like we're headed for another snowy quest." As they traveled, the air grew colder, even for Elsa. The trees sparkled with silver ice, and strange snowflakes shaped like stars floated down. Suddenly, a pack of frost foxes with glowing eyes leapt out of the snow. Anna bravely swung her lantern, while Elsa created a protective ice wall. With teamwork, they gently calmed the foxes, who turned out to be enchanted guardians. "They're not dangerous," Elsa realized. "They're trying to warn us." The foxes dashed off toward the peak of the mountain, so the friends followed. At the top, inside a glittering cave, stood a giant crystal pulsing with light, the frozen heart of Silver Mountain. But it was cracking apart. Beside it was a mysterious figure, a shadow queen of ice, with hair as dark as night and eyes as cold as stars. "You cannot stop me," she hissed. "Once this crystal shatters, I will steal its magic and cover the world in endless frost." Elsa stepped forward. "Magic was never meant to be taken by force." Anna held Elsa's hand. "And you'll never win when sisters stand together." The battle of frost and light. The Shadow Queen raised her staff, sending a storm of sharp icicles. Elsa spun a shield of ice, while Anna darted forward, distracting the queen. Olaf rolled into a snowball to trip her, and Kristoff blocked her icy blasts with Sven's strength. Elsa and Anna then combined their powers, Elsa's icy magic with Anna's warmth of heart. Their bond created a dazzling blizzard of light and snow that surrounded the queen. With a cry, the Shadow Queen vanished into the ice, defeated. The crystal slowly healed, glowing brighter than ever. The mountain released a shower of sparkling snow that drifted gently back to Arendelle. Olaf spun in circles. "Woohoo! Best snow shower ever!" Kristoff smiled. "You two saved not just Arendelle, but the world." Elsa hugged Anna. "No magic is stronger than a sister's love." Anna grinned. "And no adventure is complete without marshmallows." Together, they returned home under the silver glow of the mountain, their hearts full of courage and joy, ready for whatever mystery awaited next.